You got that daydream look in your eye, and I got that red lip classic thing that you like.
6:51 on your Monday morning. Welcome back to Breakfast Television. Thanks for starting your day here with us. Now, it is Emergency Preparedness Week, and we're kicking things off with some great information this morning. Duracell recently conducted a poll which found that the majority of Canadians don't have an emergency kit that could sustain them for 72 hours after disaster, despite the fact that most of them had experienced a power outage or a natural disaster at one point. Many of us remember, of course, the June floods. Now, yesterday kicked off the 19th annual Emergency Preparedness Week, which aims to encourage and inform Canadians on how to be prepared for anything. Lauren Harris joining me this morning with Emergency Management to tell us a little bit more about a national awareness incentives. So thank you very much for joining us. Good morning to you.
Good morning, thank you.
Let's talk a bit about Emergency Preparedness Week and what happens.
So Emergency Preparedness Week is essentially, as you said, a national initiative by the federal government, and essentially what it is to ensure and instill preparedness within the community, and being the community, the public at large.
Okay. So this is great information for families, and you've brought some things in for how families can prepare themselves should we encounter a natural disaster. So what should people have at home?
So essentially everyone should have an emergency preparedness kit. Now with that kit, depending on the size of your family, it can vary in size. So for instance, here we have a kit that in front of us we have set up for a family of one individual as well as their pet.
Okay.
So with that, we want to ensure that people have special hygiene equipment, so example, toothbrush, toothpaste, that sort of thing. We want to make sure that they also have a supply of food because they could be on their own for 72 hours without anything to eat.
Yeah, now the food has been, is canned, and it is also packaged twice. So is that important to know, to put your food in Tupperware as well?
Essentially what we did is we put them in Tupperware just so we don't have things sliding around in the kit, so it doesn't necessarily need to be in the kit, but it is contained in one location with that. You also want to ensure that you've got a hand can opener, because there may be times when you don't have power, so you want to make sure you've got that crank.
Yeah, all of
can
those
opener.
things that we take advantage of. Okay,
Yeah.
so you want to make sure you have that. And what about batteries and
You want to make sure
lighters?
that you do have batteries, because you never know if there is a longer term power outage, that you can supply your radios and then your crank flashlights.
Okay.
So you want to make sure you've got batteries for that. You also want to make sure that you've got some puzzles and stuff to keep you interested. Everyone is used to playing on their computers and electronics. There may be times where we don't actually have enough power to keep those going.
Absolutely.
So we want to make sure we've got some games and stuff that are
The
paper
old school
copy.
crossword puzzles. I have to say, I remember during the freezing rainstorm in Ontario over Christmas, we did not realize how much we were relying on our iPads, on our phones for entertainment.
Yeah.
So you end up with conversation with your family. And board games. Okay, what else should we have in our kit?
We also want to make sure that if we do have a pet, that we've got enough supplies for them. So as far as toys to keep them occupied, food for them, all of their medical papers, as well as we also want to make sure that there's a crate for them. So if we do need to evacuate your home for whatever reason, your animal or pet can go into that crate and you can quickly leave your home.
Okay, so we've got pet food in here.
Yes.
And how much water should we have stored?
It's about 2 liters per person per day.
Okay.
And that's just for drinking. So again, if you want to wash or anything like that, you're going to want to make sure you've got more water.
Okay, what else should we have in our kit?
You're also going to want to make sure that you've got some sort of blanket or, in this case, a sleeping bag. That way it allows you, if it is cold, you can wrap yourself up in it, and it gives you a bit more comfort in the middle of the night to sleep.
Okay, and last but not least, right here in the center, household supplies.
Last but not least, again, you're going to have your gloves. If you need to wear a mask for any reason, there's a mask in there. We've got a whistle, just if you need to alert anybody to your safety. Duct tape in case you need to seal anything up. That sort of thing.
Okay, now all of these things are things that you should have in your emergency preparedness kit. There's an event taking place this Saturday at McMahon.
Yes, Disaster Alley, the Calgary Emergency Management Agency, as well as our member and partners, are hosting Disaster Alley. Essentially what this is, it's an event which brings all of our first responders together. It is a family event and it's free, and it allows kids to get up and close with fire trucks, police vehicles, meet some of our animal bylaw services, a lot of our partners that they wouldn't normally get to or want to meet during an event.
Okay, a wealth of information to
Yes.
cap off Emergency Preparedness Week. Thanks very much, Lauren.